America is like a concoction of flavors with the best of spices and herbs. Served either hot, warm, or cold, depending on your economic surroundings. The founding fathers hoped for freedom, but they couldn't predict the statistics of addicts and this never-ending urge that surged within each of us. We scream and fuss, then miss the bus on the meaning of being mentally and emotionally free. You see, throughout human history, we've grown and evolved into creative and innovative beings. There's something freeing and liberating about knowing we can be whatever we want to be in this life. But the internal strife begins, and deep within is your personal citizen starting a civil war based around addictions. Because you've been convinced in this society to consume these substances at all costs. We've become lost with health and so dependent on this particular substance that in some sense, we're all just tweaking and geeking for our next fix. We've then mixed our freedom to consume with this freedom to assume that those above us have created a healthy batch of this shit. But it's this substance that we swear is the windshield wiper to our woes. This goes on and on throughout our days as we graze in a daze in search of more. The night before, we just swore like confession that we'll lessen this load and correct these codes of self-destruction. The dysfunction of this substance just fucks with all of us via an undeniable marketing scheme. Their targeting dream is to keep us intoxicated like lint waiting to touch solid ground. Can't hear solid sounds of reason, so with each season that passes, we accumulate in masses to our nearest hospitals with our newest obstacles that we call disease. With these keys of dope in the front, in the trunk, on the sides, and insides, we literally wear this dope by the pound. We then drowned in this visual ritual that's now the typical way to communicate. It started great, but this next one on deck, we expect that it's either in our hands or within arm's reach. Parents preach to their kids about how to consume responsibly, which is odd to see because of the hypocrisy. Because all I see every single day on the freeway is those same parents smoking this dope without a care. I swear we see how it's both a blessing and a curse, but what makes it worse, like most things, is not using moderation. In this nation, 1 out of every 4 car accidents happens when we overconsume this dope. We cope with our issues at hand and demand that this drug takes away any bad thoughts. Then take shots of this shit 60 times a day, so in a way we never come down from this high. We try to justify our reasons why we can't survive without this shit. But it's this third one that in some certain kind of way plays and preys on our psyche every day. They say that to live beyond your means is a means to an end. But again, we live in a society with a variety of consumer preachers and teachers. We're all just creatures to our culture, like the leeches and the vultures that the European ancestors set in motion. This notion that we need an abundance of this substance to be truly happy and free just happens to be one of the leading causes of depression. The true deception is the stream of dopamine that flows through our veins as we chase this thrill. Now we face what's real, the consequences to our consumption. We continue to function under the assumption that what we're doing is the norm. But to conform to these 3 storms forms an individualistic reality, creating the individual personality that goes against our tribal instincts. Our days of being in sync with one another minimize with persistence, which in turn compromises our existence of togetherness. It makes sense why we dream and fiend for some sort of stimulant or feel good, because we should be amongst familiar faces. But all these different places we travel on a daily basis are filled with strangers. The dangers of American addiction is the slow destruction of our deeper ambitions. The decisions we make to take the easy route, to feed the doubt, eliminates those moments of needed adversity. It's occurred to me we're all addicts on some level, in some way. Every day I have to display a never-ending effort towards awareness. And in fairness, this is the life for an addict in recovery. And it was through the discovery of my American addiction that provided the intuition to confront more than ignore, or to explore what I make more of, effort or excuses. This may be all useless info to you, or maybe that's just your addiction talking. But try walking a couple steps in the recovery direction. Try self-reflection. And as you're stepping, take a look around. Feel that solid ground. And recognize we're all in the same situation. We're all facing a daily nation of American addictions. The decision to change is yours and yours alone.